Hey everyone, quick expert playthrough from the Summer Major, last day of qualifying. First go with this account, but some decent notes, or I thought I had some decent notes before we started, so let's jump in. Hole 1, par 4, we're going to play the Andrew Hagen rough bump, or try to. So we start with a quarterback, full backspin, 2 to the right. You want to land on the 0 yard mark, or thereabouts. And then just play 1 to 1. So 7.9. And that'll go about 260, 259, thereabouts. From there it's a sniper at pretty much 0 yards, so we'll change to a power 0 ball. Minus 5%, so 6.7 rings for this one. 3 top, whatever right's needed to get that ball guide aiming just to the right of the pin, but still in the hole. And then 6.7 rings. Pretty sloppy adjustment, but I think it is the 6.7. But as always, when you've got the good notes and you don't hit perfect, so that's going to miss, obviously. Would have liked to see what a perfect did there, but next time. Hole 2, we're just going to blast it down the middle. It's pretty much risk free, this shot. Even if you don't stay on the fairway, you will reach down to the green with your second shot, so not too much to worry about here. Just eyeball the excuse me, the landing spot. So just look about 10 rings down. Full top, smidge of left. I'm probably going to take that left spin off next time, to be honest. So I'm just trying to see a rough landing spot there. Full overpower. A tiny bit of left curl, which we'll also probably not use next time. Twice I've hit this shot great left now, and both times this has happened. So you're always going to make it over unless you really screw the drive up. But yeah, bunker's no good. Not going to be making albatross from there. But as I said, even with a Malibu and a tailwind that we get like this, plenty space to get to the green. So we're going to borrow some of this wind. What we're saying, about 12.5 rings. So lots of backspin, lots of right spin. That's about 7 rings there. And then another 5.5. As long as you don't hit it massively great or good either side, you should be fine. So that's unlikely to go in, but you're always going to be close. So tap an eagle. So a pretty safe way to play the hole. You can play it with a kingmaker, bounce over to the second fairway and then play a long wood club in. But if you've got plenty of berserkers and a decent enough driver, I would recommend having a lash at it. You can stay on the fairway, you might well make the albatross, possibly. So, hole 3, first of the par 3s. There's various ways to play this. We're going to go 2.5 right, 2 back with a sniper and a kingmaker. White ring near the rough. This is the Ballinger method from the chaps and chapesses at Rough Bump. And then we play this 15% max number, so 8.7. I think the issue with this is I wasn't offset enough to the left with the initial aim. So this is going to bounce in nice. Decent speed. Just makes it to the front and trickles down, but yeah, too far to the right. So we probably want to be about another at least half a cup to the left of the hole on the setup. So we'll think about that next time. Hole 4. Again, you can play right on the crest of that hill where the club's sign is, or you can go this way. I've been favouring this way so far. You can play this with an APOC 4-3 probably, well certainly 4, and I would imagine an extra mile will get you across here as well, certainly an extra mile 8. Smidge of overpower, full top spin, couple of left spin. Just want to nudge it down there to somewhere around the 360 yard mark. So, didn't really need quite as much left spin, but better safe than sorry. That's going to leave us a nice hornet, pretty much straight into the wind, so just find out where we are. We're at pretty much max before it turns into overpower, well, extra yards I should say. So we use one backspin, and we fanny about with the target for a bit, get it just in front of the hole. I'm going to change it to a power 0 ball, which in the end it ends up being 7.2, so I'm going to play this 1-1 if I drive the same distance. If I drive between 358 and 368 yards, I'll just play 1-1. And that'll come in nice and pop in the hole. So that's the first extra. First time I've dropped that one this week, so good to know the notes are solid. So that was 5, no that was 4, this is 5, yeah, par 3. Trying the rough bump, I don't know why, but just felt my rings seemed huge here. I was looking for the blue ring to be touching the sand and the red ring near the rough. We'll get to that position now, but we've wasted a lot of time. So 25% over adjustment, mid number, so we'll go 9.5. I'm zoomed in too much for this adjustment. I don't like to be that close, so we are rushing a bit now. But we get it off with a perfect. But it's not quite enough, so maybe it needs to be slightly further through the hole. So whatever topspin that was, which is about 3 and a bit, maybe a touch more possibly. We shall see. I know others have dropped that though, so it's definitely makeable. 6, yeah, so I've been playing the bounce over instead of this, but this is the first go I've had at the hook with just an aim reference for wind. This is too far left, the target, so it's full top, full right, and all the slice overpower, but that target was far too far to the left, so we go nicely in the sand. So I don't know whether to persist with this and actually count the rings out, which is probably advisable, or whether just to stick with the bounce over with the APOC. Managed to then forget to record the next hole, well, the next shot. So this was out the bunker, just trying to get it back into play now. Leave ourselves a thorn of some description. Which we did manage to do, and I did go to show the thorn replay, as you'll see here. Twice, in fact. For some reason the replay is not actually, although it's saved, it doesn't show anything happening, so safe to say we missed the thorn. No surprise there. So yeah, I will probably go back to the bounce over, I think. It doesn't get you as far down the fairway clearly as the hook, but it gets you far enough to make the green. I have seen, who did I see drop this? Might have been Fenzel. So the second shot's droppable, but not likely in my opinion, so I'll probably change the drive up just for something safer. What I can't afford to do is not get the eagle here. That's definitely going to be a shot dropped on the field. So yeah, we tried 2 times to show this thorn replay, but it's not having any of it, so apologies for that. But it did miss, so you're not missing anything. Hole 7, last of the par 3s. Dropped this shot with this adjustment yesterday, but couldn't repeat it today. So 5 back 4 right with a wind 5, side spin 2, power 1 ball. Doesn't have to be that ball, but it helps a little bit. And then we're going to use 35% over adjustment maximum number, so 6.5 rings here. There seems to be a little bit of a funnel there. After the second bounce, it does kind of all come into the hole. It's not the tidiest adjustment in the world, and I think we actually end up going a bit too long. So yeah, not like yesterday, but we know it can be made, so I will persist with that shot because it has fallen once for me. So I know there's other ways to play that, but I'm going to stick with that. Hole 8, last par 4. This is the only account I've got a Thor 6 on, so I'm playing the same sort of shot but with the Apoc 4 on my other accounts. Because I've got the Thor 6 here, I'm going to go for the green, or at least the edge of it. This shot is done with a name reference over that muddy pile of what looks like poop, just to the right of that rock. That will work for anything from a 10.2 up to about 11.5 wind, otherwise you'll have to start moving that target line a little. So it's full overpower, touch of right curl, and the full right slice. And that rolls nicely. Doesn't quite make the green. I have seen others make the green, but that's not a bad drive. And then it leaves me the shots I hate. These are the worst shots in my game, sort of longish distance wedges. So in hindsight, I just fanny about too long here, trying to work out what I'm going to do, glitchy ball guide, and then I end up sort of running out of time. If I had this again, I would just put all the topspin on, pull it back and see what that looked like. But by the time we get to this stage, we're now panicking a bit. It's probably now a 30% club, but what would that have been, about 3.5 rings? But we just move it a bit left of the hole and hope it's good enough. Hit perfect, but obviously not. No precision there, so a waste of a good drive, but learned from it for next time, so that's good. And the last hole, par 5 to finish. We're just going to blast, in this instance, Thor's 6 up there, full top, 4 right. Same shot with the Apoc 4 or extra mile, 7-8 is fine. You might want to use a power 4 ball with either of the other clubs I mentioned there. The Kingmaker's enough for this though. In fact, a Kingmaker's probably enough for an Apoc 4 as well. I think I did that on my other accounts. So you want full overpower, bit of right curl just to counter the wind. And this should be great proof either side, to be honest. It's quite a big fairway. It would take a pretty bad drive to miss this fairway. So you want that to go about 416, 415. But as long as you get it at least 405, you won't be into overpower for the rough bump, which is coming up. So this is at pretty much 0. So we're going to switch the... Well, I think we already switched it, didn't we, to a power 0 ball. Maximum number 6.9. No elevation for me on this shot. We will adjust it a slight angle to save us pushing a ring up at the end, or half a ring up. So the 6.9. Ball guide straight at the hole. Perfect ball helps. And after a decent start and a pretty crap middle of the round, strong finish. So we were always going to qualify with this round, but that got us back on track to finish with 13. So a few disappointing holes. One needs to go. I need to either get that rough bump nailed or change the way I'm playing that hole. The par 5 that we eagled 6, that's just birdie, that's inexcusable, so that needs to fix. And 8 can be made. That's Fenzel, so he's done a 14. Look at his finish. Alba, eagle. So Fenzel finishing strong. We finished okay. 13 under sees us through. Not great, but room to improve. So that was that. Good luck to you for your rounds. I'll no doubt catch you next time. I'll be streaming some weekend round action on Sunday as usual, but probably not a lot more till then. So there should now be rookie, pro, and this expert on the channel. Hope it helps. Any questions, ask below. If not, play well. Good luck, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.